We are recording. Josh Coates, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Angie, for letting me hop on the call tonight and hang out with you guys. Like Andrea said, me and Sarah Try are good friends. I am a part of the John Maxwell team. If you've never heard of John Maxwell, I have to wonder where you've been living for the last several years. He's the #1 leadership trainer on the planet. That's not by his own saying. That is by Inc. magazine and a couple other people. His book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is the #1 best-selling leadership book of all time. And it's actually selling more copies today than it was when it was released over 10 years ago. So I'm going to toot John Maxwell's horn because I like to toot his, not my own. But I do one-on-one mentoring. My wife is a Beachbody coach. And so it's just kind of a cool mesh. Her upline coach is Brittany Powers. And so about 6 months ago, I reached out to Brittany Powers, said, hey, would love to chat with you, see if there's anything I can do to help you with your business, with your leadership. Brittany Powers is in Sarah Try's downline, about 5 coaches down, I think. And so from there, it just expanded. And now I work with about, I would say 12 to 15 coaches in Sarah Try's downline that I work with one-on-one. But overall, I work with about 23, 24 Beachbody coaches one-on-one. And then I also run training groups specifically for Beachbody coaches. Beachbody, I just love the company. Seriously, I swear the company was built the right way. And so I've worked with people in other network marketing companies. But I personally have a passion for Beachbody. I started doing P90X about 4 years ago with a set of burned DVDs. Yes, you guys love people like me, right? Someone gave me some burnt. I'd literally been watching the infomercials every single Saturday. Like I knew what time they came on, and I would sit down and watch those things. And I was just like, one day I'm going to get this program. I was poor at the time. One day, though, I'm going to get this program, and I'm going to rock it, and I'm going to look awesome. I'm going to feel like I did back in high school when I played sports. And then someone literally just gave me the burned copies. And I was just like, yes. So I went home and I literally fell in love. So unlike most spouses, when my wife told me she wanted to sign up for Beachbody, I was just like, yes, please, please, please do. Because I already love Beachbody. And now I'll have an excuse to get Shakeology because I've been seeing the infomercials at the end of like my workouts for like the last 4 years. So I was excited. I love Beachbody. I love everything that it stands for. And I really believe that everything that Beachbody is built on is perfectly like parallel to everything that John Maxwell teaches. It's all about people. You know, I actually watched the live stream of Carl Deichler from Summit, and he said, everyone matters. That was like the whole theme of Summit. Everyone matters. It's about people. It's not about products, although the products are incredible. Absolutely love them. But at the end of the day, products don't matter if people don't matter, right? It's all about people. And so tonight I want to talk to you about having a team vision. And the reason for that is, so something cool that I get to do is have an outside perspective of everything that happens in the company. And so I get to hear lots of different people's perspectives and lots of different people's struggles and lots of things that everyone is going through. And I don't know what it is. There's something about me. I really, really like to almost like analyze things. Like I really like to collect data. Like I'm kind of a nerd like that. And so as I'm hearing all these I'm constantly collecting data and thinking to myself, something we're huge on the John Maxwell team is reflection. Always reflecting. You can fail 1 million times and never learn from it once if you don't take time to actually reflect on what you've done wrong and learn from it. And so I'm constantly reflecting and thinking, okay, what are all of the common things that I hear on a regular basis? And then see, because a lot of my clients put me in their team pages. So I don't just hear what people are struggling with, but I get a chance to see it a little bit myself. And so my training groups are based on the things that I've heard people are struggling with. But tonight's topic is actually something very specific that I saw with my own eyes. And that is that very few people are making it a point to live by their vision. And when I say that because we put it on our banners, right? Everyone's got, the nice cover photo for their team page. And we've got like a nice, fun, like simple mission statement there that's real nice and sounds real good, but then we never talk about it. What we talk about is hitting SC. We talk about rank advancing. We talk about now there's the leadership ladder, and all of these are good things. Okay, I don't mean to belittle any of these things, because these are all good measuring sticks, and I'll get to that a little bit later of why that's so important. But here's the thing: we can hit numbers all day and night, but if we forget about the original vision, in other words, the original intentions of why we're doing all of this, it's all meaningless. I can hit SC 4000. But if I forget that every one map, now I couldn't actually hit SC 4000, but if I could, if I forget that every one matters, I failed. 100% I failed. And so I want to give you this example. I want you to pretend that there's like a special unit that the Army is sending in overseas. And their only job is to go and rescue a group of 20 soldiers that got captured in enemy territory, okay? So we send in this special group. Now, of course, if you're going to send somebody straight in to like rescue some prisoners, they better be like the best dudes you got, right? The best dudes and chicks. Like they better be like on point. They better be awesome, right? They're not sending in people like me that had to do body beasts for 3 months just to get up to 160 pounds, okay? They're sending in dudes that are like 190, 220 pounds, freaking carrying like their ammo packs, but at the same time, somehow they're also ninjas. They can like sneak in and out of windows and doors. Like these dudes are like, they're incredible, right? So I want you to imagine they send in these special forces, okay? And they're crawling through the night. They're crawling through the trees. Obviously, they don't want to be detected. They got all their camo on and everything. And then one of them's like, hey, man, what was our mission again? The guy's like, you know what? I don't know. Hold on a second. And he takes his backpack off and he pulls a folder out of his backpack. And inside his folder, he's got the piece of paper that's got the mission. So he pulls out that mission and he goes, oh, that's right. We're supposed to rescue 20 guys. They're holding them in a prison southeast of here. And the other guy's like, oh, okay, cool. And then they climb, they're crawling, whatever, another quarter of a mile. And guess what? They go the wrong direction. And the guy's like, so something's weird here. I don't know what's going on. What is our mission again? Hold on, it's in my backpack. Now let me ask you this. When you imagine soldiers, okay, that get sent in for an objective like that, do you imagine dudes that got like little sticky notes like in their pocket to remember what the mission is? Or are these dudes that have memorized every single word, every single map? They know their mission inside and out. Like you could like literally like beat them to death and they would wake up the next morning and they could still tell you what the mission was, right? Because they know that that's the most important thing. Here's what happens if they forget the mission. Now, these are some studs, man. They go into the prison and they just wipe everyone out. I mean, they just slaughter them, man. They just have a slaughter fest. And they come home, they go to report to their sergeant, and they're like, man, dude, we killed it. We went in and we straight up wiped them out like Call of Duty style. Like we went to town on, like no one on here, maybe two people. I see Tony and Jordan. I got a couple dudes. Maybe you can rock some Call of Duty with me. Everyone else is like, what do you call it? It's a video game. Sorry, I'm a dork. And they're like, dude, we wiped the whole place out. And the sergeant's like, where's those 20 people we sent you in to rescue? Like, wait, rescue? Like, what do you mean rescue? Like I told you, we just leveled the place. You're going to give me crap because we forgot to rescue people? Come on, man. We leveled the place. It was awesome. And the sergeant is going to look at them and be like, you are an absolute failure. You went in and did really awesome stuff. You wiped everyone out. You killed everyone, but you forgot the mission, which was the most important thing, and that was to save people. Now, that sounds crazy, but we do it all the time. We write down 20 people that we're going to reach out to today. We write down what SC goals we're going to hit this month. We write down what rank advance we're going to get to. And we forget what the actual intention was. The intention was never to hit SC 5 million. The intention was to change people's lives. Now, if you have a mission, it's 100% okay to hit SC 5 million because that represents 5 million people that you helped. But if you do not have a specific mission, if you don't have something wrote down that you're living by every single day, day in, day out, you will hit lots of numbers, you'll have lots of success, and you will actually fail because you never did the thing that mattered the most, okay? So I want to talk to you a little bit about what this looks like in your business. And first, I want to give an example of how it kind of changed my own personal life in a setting that I was in. So I grew up my entire life in church. My brother's a pastor, dad's a pastor, grandpa, everyone on the planet in my family is a pastor. And at one point, I was kind of like the MC at our church, which means like I'm the person that like did all the announcements, did like the transition from like the music to like the pastor, okay? And I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Some of you have never heard of it, but if you pull up the American map, it's like right in the middle above Texas. You've probably heard of Texas. No one knows what Oklahoma is. It's okay. There's nothing here. You don't need to know about it. But that's where I live. And I have a church of about 75 people we are the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. Like I'm not even kidding. There are about 15 churches in Tulsa that have like 10,000 members. No one else even knew 10,000 people lived in Oklahoma, but they show up on Sunday morning at churches, big, huge churches. We got 75 people, okay? Sometimes it feels a little bit like some of you have those team pages where if you've only got like 10 people, or maybe you've run a challenge group and there are only 10 people, and it's like, is anything happening? Sometimes it feels a little dead, right? When you have small numbers, sometimes it just feels a little dead. Well, that's what our church felt like. Here's the thing though. We had these incredible words up on the wall that said, reaching people, restoring lives, releasing purpose. And I would always stare at that wall and be like, man, that's like the coolest mission in the world. Reaching people, restoring lives, releasing purpose. But guess what? No one ever talked about it. Like no one ever even said those words. They were just on the wall. Like there's a fancy decoration. They looked really cool. They sounded really cool, but no one ever talked about it. And so the very first change that I made when I took over as like the MC, whatever announcements guy, was I would get up every Sunday morning with a microphone and I would say, welcome to Father's House Church, where we are reaching people, restoring lives, and releasing purpose. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And then I would go into whatever else I was going to do. And that sounds like such a like tiny little simple change, but I swear to you, within a month, the lights started to come on. People started saying it along with me. People started getting more excited about the things that we were doing. Now, here's the thing. I didn't really have like much like decision-making ability. We didn't change anything else about the church. We were still doing the same exact things every Sunday morning, every single Wednesday night. We didn't launch some new outreach program. We didn't start like feeding a bunch of poor people. We literally just did the exact same things we were already doing. But now it seemed like we had a purpose for doing them because we were doing some kind of cool things. You know, we gave a lot of money to missionaries. We'd helped build some churches overseas. We'd helped build some schools. But you know what? Since there was only 75 people and we played a lot of the same songs every Sunday, sometimes it just felt like it wasn't anything going on. But once I started saying that every Sunday morning and people started saying it with me, they started realizing, you know what? We are reaching people because guess what? Their eyes were open. I don't know if you've ever heard someone say this, but basically we do the things that we're conscious of. In other words, whatever you think about, that's why negativity is such a horrible thing in your life. You surround yourself with negative people, it will rub off on you. The things that you put in front of you on a normal basis will eventually become your beliefs in the way that you live. You put positive things in front of you all the time and listen to positive things. That's why personal development is so important. Over time, it will get in you and you'll live it out. And so what we started doing was everything we did, it felt like we were actually reaching people. We were restoring lives and we were releasing purpose. And the same mundane things all of a sudden had purpose and meaning, which made it exciting to show up. Now, here's why this is so important with Beachbody, okay? I run a training group called 4 Weeks to Clarity and Focus. And I tell people that I can help them be more productive in 1 hour than they've ever been in 3 or 4 hours of their business in Beachbody. Do you know what I do for people? I break it down to the 3 vital behaviors. And I tell them to stop doing all the other stupid crap they've been trying to do to get shortcuts around the 3 vital behaviors. You can start a website, you can start a YouTube channel, you can go on Periscope, you can do all these things. And some of you, if you've got to the point where you're ready to brand yourself, should be doing some of those things. And if you listen to Chalene Johnson much, she's really big on a lot of those things. But some of you are working full-time jobs and you literally have 45 minutes in your day between full-time job, kids, fixing dinner, taking kids to practice. You've got 45 minutes that you can sit down and work your business. You ain't got no time for Periscope, YouTube, website, Blogspot. I don't know. There's probably 1,000 other things I don't even know the names of that you're trying to do instead of starting 2 or 3 new conversations a day. Am I right? Come on. 90% of the money that's made in this business is off starting new convos, and yet 90% of the people in the business are avoiding starting new convos. Why? Well, number one, people are scared to death of talking to people. That's the first reason. We got 90% of this company are introverts, and they're just scared to death to talk to people. But another thing is that the 3 vital behaviors are very, very, very mundane. You wake up every single day, you do your workout, you drink your Shaco, you post on Instagram and Facebook a couple times a day, you start 3 or 4 new convos, boom, that's your 3 vital behaviors. That sounds kind of boring, right? I mean, especially if you've been doing this business for very long, that gets really boring. But they're the only 3 things that put money in your pocket. I'll tell you that right now. All the other crap that you're trying to do to like make life more fun, I'm telling you right now, they're not putting money in your pocket. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll agree with me right now. Now, once again, some of you are in different seasons. You know, if you're a 2-star, 4-star, 5-star, that's fine. You probably are making a full-time income and you can afford to do the processes that Chalene talks about, where you're in like 50 different places all at once. But most of you are not in that place yet. Okay? And here's why vision is so stinking important. My first year in business, I was working a full-time job detailing cars, which I absolutely hate, by the way. I never want to touch anyone's car ever again or as long as I live. I was working full-time detailing cars, come home and doing my business. Not only that, but for my entire first year of business, I only signed 2 clients. 2, okay? That's 1 every 6 months. Okay, if you're very good at math, you know there's about 30 days in a month. You know, that's 1 person for every 180 days. Okay, that's really bad. Okay, that's horrible, right? And if everything was based on numbers, I would have cried myself to sleep every night and I would have quit my business probably 3 or 4 months in. But fortunately for me, I have a great mentor, and John Maxwell taught me something very, very significant, and that is to have a mission. He calls it a life sentence. Some people call it a mission statement. Call it whatever you want. It's 1 sentence that you live by. And so I wrote out this mission statement at the very beginning of my business, that I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. That's why my business is called Legacy Leadership. I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. So for an entire year of absolutely sucking at business, every single morning I would on the way to work, I would say this: today I'm going to equip, I'm going to empower people to live out their legacy. Was it fun detailing cars? No. Did it make detailing cars more fun? No. But every once in a while, I'd be buffing a car and I'd hear somebody on the other side of the shop talking about a problem they were having in life. You know what I do? Put my buffer down, go talk to them. You know what I would have done before? I don't care what problems they got. I got to buff this stupid car and get the heck out of here because I hate this place. But now I had a purpose. And everywhere I went, I lived with that purpose. I would take people out for coffee, hoping that they would want to sign on as a client after we'd spent 2 hours talking and I had added value to them and helped them sort through 20 different problems in their life. And they would be like, man, that was so great. I want to work with you. This is awesome. They'd walk away. They would never call me again. They would ignore all of my text messages. Come on, you guys know how this goes, right? oh my gosh, I want to sign up for a coach this Friday. I'm signing up. I'm getting a challenge pack. I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to be like your best coach ever. The next day they have deleted their profile. They have gone completely non-existent. They've moved to Europe apparently, and you never hear from them again, right? When you base things on numbers, business can get really frustrating, right? But when you base things on your mission, every single day, I would wake up and I would suck again. But before bed, I would ask myself this, Josh, did you equip and empower people to live out their legacy? And as long as the answer was yes, I could put a smile on my face, go to bed, and be happy with what I'd accomplished that day. Now, was I paying the bills with that mission? No, I wasn't. Was I having good numbers? No, I wasn't. But I was determined to equip and empower as many people as I possibly could. And if nothing else, I was going to search this entire planet until I found the people that did want me to equip and empower them. And so I kept taking people out for coffee. And I kept putting on free events. Well, they weren't supposed to be free. They were supposed to cost money. But only one person would buy a ticket. So I'd end up having to give away a bunch of tickets so that the one person that bought a ticket wouldn't feel awkward when they showed up and it was just me talking to them. So I would give away tickets. I put on my own event in Wichita, Kansas, where I grew up, which was the first event people ever paid to show up at. And I just kept going and going and going because I had a mission that I believed in. And I wasn't going to give up. John Maxwell says this, and I know a lot of other people have said it too. Find something that you love so much you would do it for free. And then get so good at it that people will pay you money to do it. And that's what I was determined to do. I found something I was so passionate about. I was willing to do it, even if I wasn't making money. But I was determined to get so good at it that I would help people so much that, like Grant Cardone says, people would walk away and say, I didn't even pay enough for that. That was my goal, to add so much value to people that people would get to the point where they would walk away and be like, man, I just ripped him off. Like, he charged me this much, but dude, he gave me so much value. Like, I really feel like I got a pretty good deal there. And that was my goal. And so because I kept doing that, eventually my wife signed up with Beachbody, like I mentioned earlier. She happened to sign up under Brittany Powers, who at the time was number 35 in the company. She's a freaking rock star. And I happened to be lucky enough that she was willing to take a call with me. And from there, my business took off. Me and Brittany started working together about 6 months ago. At the time, I had 5 clients. 6 months ago, right now, I had 5 clients. Within 2 months, it had gone to like 20 clients. Within like 4 months, I met Sarah Try and started working with her and spoke on her team call. And just in October is when I quit my full-time job. It took me a year and 9 months to get my business up and going enough that I could quit my day job. But I really believe that even if it took 5 years, it would be worth it. Wouldn't it be worth it to give up 5 years of your life to spend the rest of your life doing whatever the heck you want and making more money than you've ever made before to do the thing that you absolutely love? And so I was just determined to live by that mission. So I want to explain a couple things to kind of create a balance here, because the last thing I want everyone to do is get off this call and think that SC is not important and think that rank advancing is not important, because that's not the case. Okay. So we had a guy at my church that was actually like the vice president, something like that, of a local like financial agency. And I love the way he described this. Okay. So number one, you've got your goal. Okay. Now your goal is the number that you want to hit. Okay. So I'm just going to make something up here. I don't want to throw this goal on anybody. Okay. So don't think I'm throwing this on people, but I'm just going to make up a goal. Let's say your goal is to be top 10. Okay. To hit top 10 next year. That would be your goal. That's a numbers driven thing, right? But then your mission, or as I've kind of been vision and mission kind of throwing them around, but your mission is the rules by which you play. So for instance, let's pretend your mission was the same as mine, okay? Just to make it easy. Let's say your mission was to equip and empower people. Let's take out the word legacy, because that's my word. let's say your mission is to equip and empower people to live the life they deserve. Okay. Let's just say that's your mission. Okay. Now, if you want to hit top 10, that's going to take some work, right? That doesn't happen just because you wake up one morning and happen to get 20 new followers on Instagram. Like, it takes a lot of work, right? But here's the thing, as long as you live by that mission, I'm going to equip and empower people to live the life they deserve. Then every single post, every single convo, every single thing that you do with your business has this meaning and this purpose behind it, where you value people and you don't just use people to try to get to top 10. See, that's where we go wrong sometimes, is that sometimes we use people to reach our goals instead of helping other people reach their goals. And Zig Ziglar says you can have anything you want in life if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. I really, really believe that if you live by your mission, you will eventually hit the numbers that you want to hit if you have a number goal. Okay, so here's the balance. We've got two kinds of, there's actually 4 personality types. If you go to my YouTube page, I got a video on this. I like to break it down and make it simple because I'm kind of stupid sometimes. And I don't like all the emerald, A-type, B-type, like that stuff confuses me, okay? So I like to make it simple. I heard this at a seminar many years ago that breaks it down to animals, okay? Everybody can remember animals, even if you're stupid like me, okay? Even if you only sign 2 people in your first year and are really dumb, you can remember animals. So we have a rhino. A rhino is very goal and numbers driven, okay? And a rhino, kind of their motto is join me or get the heck out of my way, okay? So a rhino is just full force on all the time. We got a couple rhinos on the call. There's always a couple, okay? Then you've got the peacock, okay? The peacock is just, I want to be the center of attention, put me in the spotlight. I'll try to make everyone laugh. I'm going to be the funny one. Like, I just want everyone to love me, and I'm going to talk and make jokes, okay? Everyone knows a peacock, right? They're the person that's always begging for attention, okay? I have a little peacock in me. Number 3, we've got the golden retriever. The golden retriever loves to be a part of the crowd, but they do not want the attention. Like, if they're in class, like say in high school, and the teacher calls on them to answer something, they're the person that gets like super embarrassed because they like do not want attention. Okay. Now the golden retriever, they're an introvert in the fact that they don't necessarily like to be the one talking, but they do like to be a part of the group. They're not like seclusive necessarily. Okay. But golden retrievers are very community driven. Okay. The rhino usually has followers just because they're like taking charge. The peacock usually has people around them because they're begging people to be around them. The golden retriever is kind of more like the support system, okay? Then you've got the owl. The owl is the exact opposite of the peacock. The owl is all about spreadsheets, planning, organizing. I'm sorry if you're an owl. My wife's an owl, but they drive me crazy because I hate details. Absolutely hate details. I'm a rhino and a peacock. The last thing I want to do is listen to details. I just want to go do it, have fun, get it done. But owls are like the exact opposite of a peacock, okay? So most of you on this call, a couple people I think like unmuted themselves. There's like some weird ringing going on in the background. If someone could help me out with that. Most people that sign up for Beachbody are actually golden retrievers, okay? Raise your hand if you would say you are a golden retriever or an owl. You don't necessarily like to be the center of attention. You don't like to be this. Quite a few hands went up. In fact, I would say, can you put your hands up again and just hold them up? Just keep them there. You see that? That is probably like 80% of the people on this call. Am I right? We have a business that is built around plastering your face all over the internet and getting attention, right? And yet 80% of the people in this business are actually golden retrievers who do not like the spotlight. And so this is one of the reasons. Okay, so we've got rhinos who absolutely love numbers and goals, okay? The problem with rhinos is a lot of times they forget about the mission. They forget about the community. They forget about the purpose. They are so focused on crushing that goal that they forget there was actually a purpose behind it. They just want to they just want to win the trophy. Like they want to win the free t-shirt. You know, I'm sure you guys like have t-shirt giveaways and stuff for hitting SE. They just want that trophy, right? Here's the problem with golden retrievers. Golden retrievers sometimes are so focused on the mission and the purpose that they shy away from the numbers, assuming that the numbers are shallow and meaningless. And so I always tell people it's not about the mission or the numbers, okay? It's never or. To think that it's or is to have a lack mentality, okay? Please, 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 please do not allow yourself to have a lack mentality. We should always have an abundance mentality that says we can have the mission and the numbers. It's not one or the other, guys. It's just like, you know, I have some friends, they eat so healthy. They are like all organic everything. All organic, locally grown. Yeah, I mean, they are like to the max. But yet they never exercise. That doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, they're actually overweight. Which doesn't make sense to me to spend that much money on organic, locally owned, like locally grown food to still be overweight. Like, I don't get that. But then I have other friends who work out like crazy. Like they're gym rats. They got 6-packs. They're like workout fanatics, but they eat McDonald's for dinner every night. Like what? You telling me you're going to put your body through that kind of like, you know, damage, whatever, and then not replenish it with like stuff that's good for it? Now, we in Beachbody know that's stupid, right? It's not about eating healthy or exercising. It's about both, right? Your body needs both. You'd be crazy to just do one or the other. It doesn't even make sense because one is always canceling out the other. And it's the same with people that think it's either numbers or mission. That's absolutely crazy to even think that that's a thing. But here's the thing. We all have insecurities, right? We all have fears. So the rhino is afraid that if they focus too much on the mission, it'll slow them down and they won't hit their numbers. What they don't realize is if they would mix in the mission, man, their numbers would blow up like never before because people would be that much more drawn to them and people would be that much more excited about working with them. Because so many rhinos are working with me because their number one issue was, Josh, I'm hitting my goals like crazy, but I can't get anyone on my team to hit their goals. And so I have to help the rhinos slow down and remember, if you're running and no one's behind you, you're not actually a leader. You're just out for a walk. The only way you're a leader is if people are actually following you. And people can't follow you. Now, the leader does need to be out in front, but not 40 miles. I can't lead you. If you were to come to Tulsa, Oklahoma, you'd have no idea where to go if we were to take away your iPhone for a day. So you'd have to follow me around. But if I'm 40 miles ahead of you, I'm in another city. You can't follow me, right? So leaders can't just run off on their own. That's not a leader. That's just someone who's eager to crush their own goals. Doesn't mean you're helping other people. But golden retrievers are so focused on the mission, they think that if they start reaching for numbers, they'll lose sight of the mission and they'll lose the purpose because they've seen other people that have done that. Do not let fear hold you back, guys. Fear is always knocking at the door, trying to hold you back from the greatness that lives on the inside of you. Fear is always saying you can only have one or the other. But it's never the case. Fear also told you that Shakeology might be a scam. Fear also told you that $150 was too much for a challenge pack. Fear also told you that there's no way in the world you could work out with Shaun T every single day. Fear has lied to you your entire life. Don't listen to it now. You can have both. So I want to challenge you to set a number goal, okay? Whatever that is, whether that be rank advancing, whether that be hitting SC, whatever it is, it needs to stretch you, okay? If it doesn't stretch you, it's not really a goal, it's just defining reality, okay? Goals were never meant to just define reality, okay? Reality is, if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing right now, by the end of the year, my pay will probably go up 20-ish% because I work for myself, right? So as long as I just keep doing the same old thing, but that would be a horrible goal. In fact, I have a goal to raise my income this year by like 250%. Why? Because that's going to stretch me to go do stuff I've never done before, to get crazy, right? To stay up later than I would normally stay up, to reach out to people I would have normally been scared to death to reach out to. Your goal needs to stretch you, or it's not even a goal. It's just defining reality. That's it. But you also need to have a mission. So I want to encourage all of you to write out your own personal mission statement. And I want to give you just a few tips on doing that. Number one, it can't be more than one sentence. Okay? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, make it plain that he who reads it may run with it. The whole point of a mission statement is it needs to be so simple that it literally paints a picture in your head and then you can just run with it. Okay? Some people have mission statements that are like, I want to help people to get healthy and fit and be their best them so that they can then go live their dream life and so that they can help other. Whoa, hold on. I got lost like 30 words ago. Okay. Very simple, sharp, to the point. You say it, you can memorize it. You could literally say it to someone and like 20 minutes from now, they could repeat most of it back to you. It needs to be that simple. Okay. It also needs to not limit to health and fitness. Okay? Your mission statement should not be limited to health and fitness. It should be something that applies to every area of your life. I always say that true leadership applies to everything in life. Okay? So guess what? I can equip and empower my wife, my kids, people at the grocery store, everywhere I go. I'm not limited to just people who want to have a business. And you shouldn't be limited to just people who want to get healthy and lose weight. Okay? Your mission should drive you everywhere you go. Okay? And then I want you to have 2 or 3 keywords and kind of to like summarize the whole concept of this is if you could explain what you want people to say about you when you die. How would you sum that up into one sentence? Now, it's not nice, it's not sweet, it's not pretty, okay? It's what people would say about the impact you had on the world around you. So many times we think of a mission and we make it kind of selfish. Our why is supposed to be selfish, okay? My why was to quit my job, get the heck out of a place I hated, build a better life for my family. That's a why, okay? And that's good to have. You need to have that emotional connection. But a mission is completely unselfish. It's what you want to do for the people around you, okay? I want you to write that down, and I want to challenge you. It's almost January. For the whole month of January, I want to challenge you. Every single morning when you wake up, say that mission statement. It'll set the tone for your day. Every single night before you go to bed, say it again. It'll help you to remember that your whole day wasn't wasted, even if you didn't see the results that you wanted to see. And this mission will become the thing that you live by, the thing that fuels you everywhere you go, that reminds you Beachbody isn't just something where you wake up and you're tired and you're exhausted and you're sacrificing time from your family. It's a purpose thing, man. This thing is something that lives in you. Helping people should be something that you breathe every single day, okay? So I want to challenge you guys to make a video, okay? This is something that's really fun to do. How many people love to make videos? I know golden retrievers love to make videos, right? I want to challenge all of you to make a video, post it in your team page, talking about what your mission is and how you're going to use it to build your business. In other words, how you're going to use it to change your mindset going into January for your business, okay? I want you to all do this. And then Andrea and Colleen, I'm gonna give you a little task. Hopefully I don't put too much extra on your plate. Could you collect the names for me of everyone that posts them? What is today? I don't even know what day of the week it is. Wednesday? I think? Yeah, Wednesday. I should know that, but I don't. everyone that posts it by midnight on Friday, if you could send me their names, I'm going to give away one person on each of your teams and one person on Angie's team as well, a free spot in one of my training groups. So at joshuacoates.com, you can see the training groups that I provide. One is 4 weeks to clarity and focus. It's for newer coaches to get your game together. Stop getting scatterbrained. I call it fog brain. Stop being fog brained. Stop being overwhelmed by all the crazy YouTube videos that tell you 1,000 different things to do. Just focus on your 3 vital behaviors and get results. Okay. I have another group called the Art of Leading. That's specifically for people that are like 2-star and above. And it's how to motivate, mentor, and multiply. I teach you how to take your team, how to properly motivate, not manipulate. Teach you how to mentor a handful of people to take them to the next level, and then multiply leaders. And then I have a brand new group launching February 29th called The Art of Recruiting. So I found that there was a gap in my own business. Okay. Remember I told you I'm always reflecting, trying to learn. Sometimes you got to learn from your own mistakes. So clarity and focus is really, really good for people who are struggling to hit Success Club. The Art of Leading is really great for people who have already built a pretty good, solid team. But there's a gap in there of people who have been hitting Success Club pretty regularly, but you cannot get over that stupid hump of recruiting coaches. And so 3 of the people that I mentor are in the top 30 in the Beachbody business. I have about 5 or 6 clients that I helped get to elite this year. And I brainstormed with them to find out what are the most important practices you need to follow if you want to recruit on a regular basis. So launching February 29th, it's going to be a 4-week training to basically take your recruiting game to the next level so that you can get from Emerald/Ruby. I know no one ever talks about Ruby, but we know it's there. From Emerald Ruby level up to like a 2-star diamond level. Some of you are diamonds. You've hit diamond and you've been stuck there for several months. Some of you maybe even a year because you stopped recruiting. You got to diamond and then you said, okay, I've got this team. I need to be a good leader. I need to mentor people. And before you know it, it's 4 months later and you've recruited like 2 people and half of your people have gone off the deep end and you're not even diamond anymore. Or maybe you've been literally trying to hold on to diamond forever and you're barely hanging on. Get in this group. I promise you, I will help you take your business to a whole new level by focusing on adding new people to your team. So that's at joshuacoates.com. But if you make a video, you're going to get to pick any of those groups for free. Okay. Not if you're one of the people that wins, I should say. So everyone that makes a video, post it on the team page, they'll send me the names and then I'll randomly select one person from each team to get a free spot. If you don't get a free spot, you can still go hop on. My next group start January 4th. Someone chatted, said, repeat the focus of the video we should post. Okay, so the video, state your mission statement and then tell how you're going to use focusing on that mission statement to change the way you do business. Does that make sense? So thank you, Colleen, Andrea, Angie. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to take over your team call. Thank you everyone for being on. If you guys have time, I know it's late on the East Coast. I have time for some questions if you want. That's up to you.
Okay, awesome. First of all, I have to say, if you do have a question, unmute yourself, but I'm really blown away by just so many aha moments that I had just listening to you. I definitely think when you're explaining personalities, I'm certainly like more of a rhino than anything. And just listening to kind of everything you were saying, it makes so much sense. And so I'm excited to check out your groups too. And I will definitely be creating my video and my mission statement. Does anyone have any questions at all while he's here? Unmute yourself if you do, or put it in the chat. Anybody? No?
Don't be scared.
I know. Come on. Anyone? Don't make me call your name out. Okay, so Elena says, how do we access the trainings besides by winning it?
Yeah, so you can actually just go to joshuacoates.com and all of the training groups are there. You can just sign up and pay right there.
Okay. Awesome. So joshuacoates.com.
Mhm. Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Very cool. You guys, I honestly, again, if you have questions, put it in the chat. But, investing in yourself and investing in your business, it's important, and it's something that, it's going to pay you back tenfold when you do things like this, because what you learn, you'll be able to pass on to your team. And it'll change the way you're running your business, and it's a tax write-off. And so personal development and just trainings like this, they're really, really important. And so, I don't know, I say that if you're considering, wanting to take your business to the next level, for sure, definitely look into something like this. Okay. Any other questions at all?
I think Tony unmuted himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Tony's a good
What's
one.
up?
What do you got, Tony?
A dude on the call. Thank you so
Yes.
much for hopping on, Tony.
Yeah, no, I just have a question because I know everyone's different. But I was talking to one of my coaches today, and she just happened to be mentioning, trying to really get her focused in on not getting overwhelmed with the simple behaviors. I mean, for what you do monthly, but also weekly, and what you do daily. And it still seems like there's an issue with time management. She mentioned about 4 hours went by and hardly anything got done. There was no checklist. There was nothing like that. It seems like it's a repeated thing. But one thing I caught on to was that she said that she does about an hour of personal development a day.
Mhm.
And myself, I was thinking, okay, well, I think that may be a little too much for most days. I mean, sometimes, I may be I'm reading a book right now, and sometimes all it takes is 3 pages and I'm done. I got a key concept and I move on. So I guess what my question is that, was that the right move, or was it a situation where it all depends on the person and what they have going on? And because it seems like it's so simple,
Right.
but everyone's different as far as their organizational skills and
Yep.
what they can balance and handle.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, Tony. It really is. So here's the thing. Some people are addicted to the idea of personal development, but they're not actually learning anything.
Yeah.
If you're reading an hour a day and aren't open to taking a little advice on how to simplify your game plan and actually get results, it sounds like it may be, and I could be wrong on the animal, but a lot of times it's an owl. Owls love to research everything, but they really struggle with the implementation, because at the end of the day, an owl's biggest fear is to do something that's not perfect. They want to understand everything that's going to happen first. That's why they love the research, right?
Yeah.
That's why my wife bought Shakeology, actually. I would have bought Shakeology just because Tony Horton said so. Like, if Tony says so, I'm good. Let's do it. She actually had hypothyroidism, so she Googled the crap out of every product on the freaking planet to find out which one had the best ingredients, which is how she came across Shakeology. She didn't want to do Shakeology because I'm the one that found it. She's very independent. She didn't like that idea. So it sounds like she likes to read because it's fun to read. I mean, there is a certain high you get off of like learning new stuff. But if you're not implementing it, you didn't learn a single thing. Like, learning doesn't come from hearing it. It comes from doing, right?
Yeah.
And so you definitely took the right. I would actually encourage her to break down her personal development into about 15 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Something small enough that she can take what she reads, she can take a couple of notes, and she can go do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the feeling I got the second time I was at Summit. I mean, the first time was a few years back, and it was, it was like, wow, this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But my second year going there, I mean, there was a lot of great information, but I specifically went there for the purpose of, being a better leader, and all the other stuff was fine, but there were certain things that I was looking for to grab onto, and those are the, the workshops that I went to. And so,
Definitely.
there's probably 75% of the stuff, which was great, but
yeah,
I only used 25% of it, not saying that the rest was not good, but it just was what worked for me at that time.
Yeah.
So.
And just a few tips to hopefully open her up, and there's no guarantee that she will.
Yeah, she's very open to it, so it's not like there's any resistance. So
Okay.
She was surprised when I was surprised that she was taking that much time with personal development. She seemed to be cool with it.
Okay.
So
So she was open to doing to doing the checklist and sticking to those simple activities?
Yeah. But the problem is when you talk 2 weeks later or a week later, sometimes those things are not. And I know how easy it is to, just get all scrambled up. I mean, life gets in the way and nothing gets done. So
here's what I like to do with people that are kind of just, they know what they need to do, but they're not doing it. And it's actually a life coaching thing, is to use questions to draw out of them and to get them to admit their own shortcomings. And I like to use that for a little bit of tough love. For instance, let's just pretend her name is, I don't want to offend anyone. Let's say her name is Josh. That's kind of weird, but that way I don't offend anyone on the call. I would say, Josh, can you tell me again, what is your goal? Like, why do you want this business to work? Right. And then Josh would go into this deep, emotional rooted explanation of why this business has to work. Maybe they've got a spouse that works a job they hate. Maybe they're behind on money. They've got some deep emotional reason for why they're doing this, right? Everyone does. If they don't, we need to help them find that. And then once they get done with that, okay, let me ask you this. If you continue doing what you've been doing the last several months, is that going to happen? 100 times out of 100, they're going to say, no, it's not. Okay, so what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make this happen? Well, I mean, I need to make my daily checklist and I need to stick to it and I need to make this work. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what you know what you need to do. So let's do this. Once we get down to the issue, we always have to follow up with accountability. Accountability, we've learned from challenge groups, is one of the most powerful tools on the planet. So then we say, okay, here's the thing. I want you to check in with me every single day at this time and let me know that you did your 3 vital behaviors and let me know how it went. Now, you don't message them because at some point you could have 5 or 6 people you're doing this with, right? And that's crazy. You can't be, they need to message you at a certain time. And maybe once a week you check in on them if you're not hearing from them. And if they can do that for 2 or 3 weeks and check in with you every day, I would keep giving them access to you and keep allowing them to get it. If they don't, at some point we have to decide, is it worth it to keep giving this person the same advice all the time? Or do I need to find someone else that's actually going to use my time? And I know that sounds harsh, but time is more valuable than money. I can always make more money, but I can't always get more time. And sometimes people actually need us to stop giving them our time to realize, crap, I need to grow up and like really make this happen. Is that, you know what I'm saying? But it's so valuable to use questions to get them to admit that they're wrong. And I know it doesn't sound any different, but I promise when people say it out of their own mouths, there's a different reality check. There's that aha moment that they get. And then we set up that accountability for them. And the accountability is what seals the deal. Honestly, I mean, I've had several clients that were just like kind of, I set up one-on-one accountability with them. I mean, this girl went from diamond to 2-star premier in like 3 months. Not because I'm incredible, but because she was incredible, but wasn't living up to it. And once we set up that daily accountability, it brought her out to bring her A game. The second she brought her A game, man, her business took off. So I don't know. Hopefully that helps, Tony. Does that help at all?
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question off of that? Basically, that conversation that you have leading with questions and kind of, just the whole thing you role played, would that also be your suggestion when you have coaches on your team that are just kind of in a slump and they've got great potential and of course they believe in the business, but they're just, they've lost the motivation or life has kind of gotten crazy for them. So is that the conversation that you have with them via questions to kind of help them refocus?
Yes. Yes. And I'm going to give you guys 3 questions. Okay. If you have people on your team that you're mentoring, write these 3 questions down. I teach this in the art of leading. I give this to all my clients. If you want to help someone that A, is in a slump or B, just needs your help, I always ask these 3 questions. Number 1, what is your biggest goal for this business? If you do not know their goal, you're not motivating, you're manipulating. The only way to truly motivate someone is to know where they're trying to get to so that you can help them get there. Number 2, what are you struggling with the most? This is going to open you up to some things that they're going through that maybe you didn't even know about. And then number 3, what can I specifically do to help keep you motivated? Someone's got some like awesome feedback going on. And that is a question, and that kind of ties a little bit back into their personality type. Like, are you motivated by numbers? Are you motivated by purpose, by community? We do a really bad job sometimes of trying to motivate everybody with numbers. And as you saw earlier, 8 out of 10 people in this company numbers is not what drives them, right? And so if that's the case, that's fine. We need to find a different way to motivate them. But it all comes back down to why are you doing this? Why do you need this to work for you? If that's the case, if you keep doing what you're doing now, is it going to get you where you want to go? You know, I detailed cars every single day. I came home covered in sweat, covered in other people's food from their cars. Last thing I want to do is work a business. But I knew if I didn't work a business, I'd be doing that for the rest of my life. My back would go out on me. My knees would go out on me. And I would just honestly hate life because I'm a very passionate person. There is no passion in any of that. I could only handle that for so long. If we can get people back to that, we can usually get them back on board. But at the same time, it's like health and fitness. We can't make anybody get on board. We can just keep pointing to the thing that they said they want. You said you want to quit a job. You said you want a dream vacation. You said you want this. As opposed to, now come on, I really want to help you get to Diamond, or I really want to help you hit Success Club. None of those words matter to people that are going through a tough time. You know what I'm saying? Like that why, you pull that up, man, you can really like get some people stirred up and ready to go.
I have a question real quick. If someone's like a certain animal, do they have the ability to change what they are? So say I'm more of a retriever and an owl. Mm-hmm. Is there a way that I can change to be a rhino or grow into something different? Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. It totally does. So never think that your animal is a setback, because there's strengths and weaknesses with every animal, but you definitely do need to learn to develop some rhino in you. And the number one way I could say that is to go get Grant Cardone's book called The 10X Rule.
Okay.
The 10X Rule is the most rhino book I've ever heard in my life. And really the only way you're going to get some rhino in you is to spend some time with some other rhinos and listen. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? Like allow them to rub off on you. Grant Cardone has one chapter in the book called Don't Be a Victim. And I'm telling you, it is just 100% real talk. And you can't listen to that book. Either one, you're going to get really pissed off and like probably like break your stereo, or 2, you're going to get really pumped up and you're going to go make some stuff happen. But also just knowing which animal you are, I think helps too. Because if you know you're a golden retriever, and let's say, I mean, I don't know who your coach is, but let's pretend it's Andrea. And Andrea says, okay, we're going to talk about convos this week. And then at the end, she's like, I want to challenge everybody to do 5 convos a day this week. And the golden retriever in you is going, I don't want to talk to people. I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. But then you go, wait a second. It's just because I'm a golden retriever. It's just because that's my natural personality type. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with reaching out to people. It doesn't mean that it's going to kill me. It's just my natural personality type. You know, my natural personality type may like to sit on the couch, but if I want to get healthy, I go work out, right? And I really think that knowing your personality type helps you to understand sometimes, like, there's not really anything wrong with you. You're just wired differently. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you just have to take actions in spite of how much it scares you. But get the 10X Rule, get the audio book too, because he's got like a Cajun accent and it's freaking awesome. And I swear it's like injecting rhino into your blood. It's like the greatest motivation book you'll ever find. I promise.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
All right. Any more questions? And I'll have to say, Sarah pretty much forced the audiobook of 10X Rule after she listened to it on her drive to Chicago. She's like, listen, Josh told me about this. I've been putting it off. Finally listened, download it now. And I did. And I agree. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I have so many ideas wrote just all over my office from just listening to that for like 10 minutes and then just getting so freaking stoked.
Yeah, it's a good book. Okay, any more questions before we end this call?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you were about to talk and not let anyone answer, Andrea.
Sorry.
That's why I hang around Andrea. She's the rhino that I need to like get more of. So now I've got some rhino in me.
I love it. I love it.
But I wanted to just ask, so if somebody's struggling, like kind of like, oh, I struggle in this area. Oh, I struggle in this area. All his trainings sound good. Or, you know, I'm not sure which one to do. Can they email you to say, to talk back and forth with you a little bit, you know, to help decide what might be best?
Yeah, you can totally email me. My email is on my website, but I do ask, please just go to Facebook and message me. I hate emails so bad. Like, I know some people would rather be emailed, but like, I would Facebook Messenger. I have notifications. I don't get spam to my Messenger. Like, I'm down to talk like anytime. Hit me up on Messenger, and that way we can actually have a convo as opposed to chat now and then like 48 hours later when I don't even remember what we were talking about, I get another email. That's the best way to do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that's how you and I chatted a little bit before too, and that was super easy. So good. So people can friend you on Facebook and message you there and ask their questions.
Yes, and please do friend me on Facebook. I would love to hang out with all of you guys every single day and share my hammer and chisel journey. You can see me getting my butt whooped by Autumn every single day.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay.
You're welcome, Colleen.
Any more questions? Going once, going twice. All right, Josh, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Awesome info. And I'll share his Facebook page in my group, and I'm sure Colleen will too, so you guys can all add him. And I know that you've got a like page for your legacy training. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your time. I know Colleen and Angie do too. And we will probably be talking soon.
Okay, cool.